Okay, YouTube singers, today's project is Porgi Amor, the Countess's aria from the Marriage of Figaro by Mozart, a very short text. And we will be exploring the open and closed vowels and the phrasal doublings, and mainly from the perspective of a non-Italian, all of the things that non-Italians do wrong, especially Americans, and from the perspective of non-Italian singers and how to get accentless Italian when you sing. Also, I would like to explore some of the resources that are available to us today. So first off, if you look in the links below this video, I have linked the Rye site. There's a dictionary, a pronouncing dictionary from Rye, and it is a great source because you can uh, pretty much put in any word, and if it's a verb, you have to know the infinitive, but you put in any word and it will show you whether it's open or closed, and there will be a little guide there. So say you put the word in duɔlo and you press a little arrow, and the little Italian guy in the site will go duɔlo. So so the other great thing about it is it acknowledges the existence of phrasal doubling. So you'll see lines with Dante and or complete sentences there where you can hear the speech and print it out in IPA where there are phrasal doublings in the sentence. So I love it. It's a tremendous site. It's been around for a long time, perhaps over 10 years. I've been using it for a long time. If I have any question about things, I'd go through the score of Otello or something, and then there would be all these things that I had never seen before, like nautical terms, so just to go and double check what the open and closed vowels, it's a tremendous source. It also puts to rest the argument that open and closed vowels are sort of a moral relativist thing, like that. It's just it's like opinion. Actually, it's not. There are definite open and closed vowels, and there are words that need to be memorized if you're a singer or a careful, even an Italian singer, and a careful, diligent singer of the Italian language. So it's great for anybody wanting to get rid of a regionalism, even for Italians, native Italian speakers, or and someone trying to get rid of disinformation. So the Rye, you just type in Rye or follow the link below. The other thing is YouTube today. I would suggest that you just look at any video that was recorded before 1950. And I remember the days of LPs. I'm that old, yes. And the 1950s were it for me because that was basically the oldest recording I could get. And now in the day of YouTube, you can go from as early as 1927, 1928. La Scala was recording complete operas in Italian. Imagine on 78s how much room you would need, and with complete Italian casts. And also by listening to them, I developed my ideas of phrasal doublings and how Italian is executed brilliantly by Italian casts. So. Let's go on to our text for today, which is Porgi Amor. It's very short, and what I will do first is go word by word, and we will also talk about some of the vocal troubles that people have just because they're saying the words are actually messing with them more than the actual notes of the aria. The aria, the highest note is an A flat. So here we go. First off, it'll be one word at a time, and then we'll link it all together. Porgi. So the first O is open, the R is rolled. The reason why the R is rolled is because it touches a consonant, right? So any R that touches a consonant is rolled. Any R that's surrounded by vowels is flipped. Porgi. Okay. And the R does not come down to right? Porgi. It's up. right? So on that first note, you can be off immediately if you're por and you come down, right? And then you have to go up, and it's not pretty after that, right? Next word, amore. So amore is the real word, amor. So it's truncated, right? So that final R is rolled, the O is closed, and the M is single, right? So to make single M versus double M, well, it's very easy to make double M for Americans, right? Amor, right? You sound like you're from Naples if you do that. Number one, right? Number two, so to make M double M, all you have to do is phonate on it, right? It doesn't matter how soft it is. So watch, I do it really softly. Oh, amor. Oh, it's still double. Why? Well, I phonated. Like that. My vocal cords. Amore. See? Single M, no phonation. So you can practice double, single. Amore. When you go to Naples, you're fine, right? Amore. Right? Nice and legato. Single M. So I hope that clears up any problems you've ever had with single M versus double M. Next word, qualche. So we'll talk about consonants first. Italian consonants are as close to voiced as possible. Right? If you've been in Rome, you realize they're even more close to voiced, right? Because in Romanaccio, they are like really every consonant is almost like its voiced cousin, right? So what I mean by this, right? K is unvoiced. G is the cousin to k. G, k, right? So if I were to say instead of qualche, right? Now I'm being really like over the top with the air going through, right? That's horrible, right? Versus gualge, right? So now I voiced everything. Okay, so the character of the voiced one is actually the unvoiced in Italian, right? So gualge, qualche. See how close? I just do enough to unvoice it. But going too far with unvoicing would be if I were British, right? Qualche, right? Qualche, qualche, right? Not to mention the chewing of the jaw, right? Qualche. That was a horrible British accent. I realized that I can't do it. I'm from New England, so all I can do is New England, unfortunately, when I speak English. Or Italian accent. I could do New England Italian, I guess. So qualche. So it goes around your mouth, right? And the L sings into the ke. Qualche. Okay? I know I'm dwelling a little bit on every single word, but this is what we need. Ristɔro. Okay. Open O. Now, when you speak, if you're an Italian speaker, you can say ristoro and hiss the S, right? See where the S was? Ristoro, right? Yeah. But when you sing, the E has to be separate. Ristoro, almost like it was a double consonant, right? So, hissing S in a theater is ugly. Right, so if you're saying qualche risto, now you're not phonating where somebody else is, right? So, not to mention that upbeats are long in Mozart and in Italian, right? Ristoro, ristoro. Okay, so you want to make sure that all of the first note is E and the storo is all on the next note. Okay, clear. So the middle O in this word is open. The final O is closed. So you have in a word, you have an accent, you have a stress, right? So most Italian words, the stress is on the penultimate, the second to last syllable, right? And this word falls within that. Ristoro, ristoro, right? So the stressed vowel can either be open or closed. There's no other rule other than that, right? We know that it can be open or closed, but you have to memorize all of the stressed vowels. And the way to do that is either go to the right and memorize, or at least know for the aria or the role that you're singing, mark them all and memorize them, right? And then you can memorize individual words as you go on. The unstressed parts of the word are going to always be closed, despite what you see in the diction books, right? The person who started that was Evelina Colorni. She started to mark them all open, but what she meant was that you just don't sing them so close that you can't sing. So you're not closing your voice down, right? Because she believed that A was too close for proper singing and O, right? It doesn't mean that it's not having the characteristics of A or O. Okay, so ristɔro, right? So that's how that word goes. The R is surrounded by vowels, so it is flipped. Okay, so I'm leaving no stone unturned with every word as we go. Okay, let's go on. Al mio, so the lion's share of that word is on the E. Mio, right? There are some words like ja, where it's a semivowel, right? Cha, right? But these words, mio. Next word, duɔlo. So, duɔlo. So the O is closed at the end, but the stressed O is open. The L is single, right? So I can make double L, and you hear this a lot. Non-Italian speakers, duɔlo, where it's not double, right? So how do you do it? By phonating, right? Duɔlo. Also, there's a lot of phonation on the L and very little on the vowel, right? So the opposite is single L, duɔlo. Yeah, and so now, because most of the phonation was on the vowel and nothing on the L was just formed, and you get in and you get out. Nobody got hurt, right? Duɔlo. Okay, so open O after the U, closed O at the end. Okay, next. A is always A in Italian. Miɛi. So the E is open. There's a semivowel on either side of that E, so it causes you to go around. As an Italian says around, you see that's the way it works, right? Miɛi, miɛi. So it takes a lot of flesh on your face to do that. Sospir. So the infinitive is sospire. If you speak, you can say sospire with the hissed S on the first syllable. When you sing, again, here's the difference between spoken and lyric Italian. It's ugly to hiss that S. Sospire. So, and now they cut off the A, so that R will be rolled because it's final. Sospir. Okay, now rolled R phonates in Italian. It's not R like in English. It's R. So if you have a pitch, the pitch, whatever the note is, say it's an E flat, say it's a D natural, the pitch, you should be able to sing the pitch during that R, that rolled R, and then it's proper in the same position as whatever vowel is you're singing. Next, O, mi. So the O into the mi, O is a strong monosyllable, and this is what I was talking about before, about why I love the Rai DOP thing, was because they acknowledge the phrasal doublings, as did Evelina Colorni, who wrote Singer's Italian. If you have a copy of that book from your Italian diction class, by all means, look through it. There's a lot of valuable stuff. It's that green book, you had that in diction class. She acknowledges, she actually has 2 pages at the end of all the strong monosyllables that cause a phrasal doubling, right? And if you talk to Italians about this, a lot of Italians aren't really aware. They just do it. And they will say, what do you mean? Well, I don't say an extra. And then they'll go ahead and say an extra M or something. So in spoken Italian, o mi rɛndi would be double M, right? No, well, you're a countess in this aria, so you just need to do that slightly, right? O mi rɛndi. So you're going to make just the slightest double M. Rɛndi. The E is open, is another stressed E that's open. Okay, the N goes into the D. Rɛndi. Okay. Il mio. There's mio again. Tesɔro. Okay, tesɔro. So, unstressed vowel, always closed. Te. Stressed vowel, either open or closed. This one's open. Tesɔro. There is no rule for stressed. I've heard people say the craziest things in my travels. Oh, single consonant, it's closed before stress. No, or double consonants open. Well, that's basically an American thing because we love, when there's a single consonant, we love a closed vowel. When there's a double consonant, we love an open vowel. But unfortunately, there are words like violeta, museta, right? Any of the mente words, they're closed, right? But those two names, Violeta, there's a double consonant and a closed vowel on the stress, right? So that theory is shot. And there are lots of single consonants with an open vowel, right? Okay, so we're on tesoro. Next thing is o mi lascia. So when you say lasciare, even in speech, in Italian we'll make the sh a double consonant. So any other speaker of any other language speaking Italian will hiss that sh too early. Or whoosh it. I don't know what the proper verb is. Lasciare. See, so there's a lot of sh. And when you sing lasciare on that first note, you stop phonation, right? So that all of a sudden you don't have pitch, right? So you have to think about almost a staccato dot on the ah. Lasciare, right? So it's technically, to an Italian, a double consonant. What I mean by that is not that the force of the sh is stronger, it's that there's a space. Lasciare, especially when you sing. O mi almehmen morir. Okay, so now the next two words are the final words of the aria, and they come in two very crucial vocal places. One where you're going up to an A flat, and one where you have to go from your kind of middle range into a low D natural and then E flat. Right, and both are crucial on how you handle these words because they can mess you up really badly, both breath-wise and vocally. So almehmen is closed, right? Almehmen, almehmen, right? So when you truncate it, it's almehmen. So next word is morire. So in the infinitive, both of those R's would be not rolled because you have an 8 at the end, right? So we truncate it. Mozart and Da Ponte, they truncate it. So you get morir. So you have to roll the last R. Okay, so now when you put these two words together, watch what happens. Almehmen morir. What happened there, right? Watch again. Almehmen morir. What happened to the N? It just assimilated on my lips, right? So the reason for this is I'm going to say morir. My lips come together. Morir. Almehmen morir. Aha. Right? So see how legato that is. Now, here's another option. I could say the N, right? I say the N in my mouth, right? It's back here. Almehmen, right? Almehmen morir. What happened? Oh, almehmen morir. What? See, if I do it in slow motion, you see what happened. I have to say the N, I have to release the tongue, and then my phonation keeps going, right? Because I want to make legato, right? So there's a shadow vowel to take up that gap. And then I put my lips together and make the M. Not very good, not very elegant when I'm singing, right? Almehmen morir. Okay, boom, right? All over the place. It went in and out and in and out and in and out, right? So you could stop. You could say almehmen morir. You could do that. That's one option. The other option is In speech, where somebody was not thinking about it, they would say almehmen morir, right? Where the N assimilates. So N basically does whatever the next consonant does. Now, when you're singing, that's probably your best option. Okay? Almehmen morir. One M. Especially the one going up to the A flat. And especially the one as you're going down onto the low D to the E flat. Right? That's probably your best option for singing. If you do the N, you're out of position. And I've seen that happen all the time. And then here's the other thing about going up to the A flat. There are several things you can do wrong, right? I've heard people always complain about the approach to this, and you're right. The approach is not great. The reason is, number one, you have text above the staff, right, which is always problematic. Now, the nice thing about this is that you've already said it, right? So the audience can fill it in. Number two, and I'm the diction guy, right? I'm always for the clear diction. But in this point, in this point of the aria where you're going up to that A flat, it's not so easy to say this text above the staff. But there are a few death traps, and let's go over all the death traps, right? So when you're o mi la sh, right there, if you do too much and you get your vocal cords to blow air, you're already off. You're already derailed. It's like a train that went off the track already, and then we just watched the carnage as you go up to the A flat, right? Next, o mi la. So you can practice o mi laja, o mi laja, o mi lascia, and just do that very. See, you always the solution vocally is always practice the voiced one, and then let the audience believe that you're doing the unvoiced one, but you just do the unvoiced one just enough so that it's clear that it's unvoiced. Yes? So you can practice o mi la almenh, right? O mi la almenh, right? You don't want shh, that tremendous force going through that. Almenh morir, right? So between a G and an A flat, if your jaw clamps and really makes an M, you'll go off, and you'll be confounded because you're saying, oh my god, I sing this A flat all the time in vocalises. In fact, I could sing up to a high E flat or a high D or a high F, and it's no problem. But this one A flat is a problem, right? So what I see all the time is too much M at this point. You can actually not bring your lips together. Morir, right? I actually did too much there. But if you practice that and sing it for your friends and ask them, how much of this can I get away with? You'd be very, very, very surprised at that point. Okay? So now let's do whole lines and we'll finish this video up. So we'll put the whole line together. And the Italian sentence is like a wave. I always say this is like a wave crashing on a beach. You find one down, right? One down, and you will have an arc. And you have a beautiful arc. So here we go. Porgi amor, qualche ristɔro. Al mio duɔlo, a miɛi sospir. O mi rɛndi il mio tesɔro, o mi lascia almehmen morir. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, please subscribe, please like, please share, and also explore the links below. And as always, please feel free to comment as you see fit. And go and see your coach.